Food Gatherers ran an ad in about 1990, 1991, looking for people to volunteer during the day and drive truck, be a food runner. And I had a job that had flexible hours, so I asked my boss if I could take a half day off once a week and do that. And he was fine with that, and so I started out as a food runner, truck driver every Monday, about 20-some years ago.
And I was interested in volunteering for Food Gatherers, and a friend of ours knew that, and I asked him about it, and he said, talk to Jim Lee. This was in 1995, and his food run partner had just quit, so there was an opening on his Monday morning bread run, which I took, and 13 months later we were married.
At that time we had one single household-sized refrigerator to store food in, so you pretty much picked up and dropped off everything that you could. It was a fun physical job going and picking up the food, and I enjoyed interacting with the places where we both picked up and dropped off. But I think by far the best part was the Food Gather staff. It was well organized, very friendly, appreciative, and we were running on a string of a budget. We had a rusty truck, one rusty truck, and you had a board where you put a pin to say on the map, this is where the truck's parked, so you can go find it out on the street. And I mean, it's just so different from today's operations, and yet these were people who are making do and making well with very little. I think one of the things that has struck me is that when I started with Food Gatherers, and there were 4 people working in a space about the size of a walk-in closet. They obviously must have either gotten along well, or they certainly pretended when the volunteers were around. It has always been, and remains even now with 40-some staff, a place that you always felt that it was personable, that your volunteer time was greatly appreciated. And so, I get a lot of personal notes from the staff, and thank yous, either phone calls or after volunteering. That it's clear that they appreciate what you're doing, and that's true now that they're orders of magnitude larger.
And Food Gatherers respects their volunteers, so they're very organized, and it's fun to volunteer for an organization where you come and there's something for you to do. So you're not sitting around for a half hour while somebody figures out what you might do. You come in, you do something, and on you go. So that's very satisfying.
There were a few things that I particularly enjoyed. One, Food Gatherers was a very well-run organization. First, their mission is terrific, both feeding people who need food, as well as the process that they go about doing this. And at that time, while Food Gatherers was a small operation, the executive director had a big vision, as did the board, and they were clearly making good progress with that. And so it was one of those things where they had a good mission, and you trusted they would do very well with the money, and every time they've just done a great job.